What's up, everybody? How's it going? This is Angel, DJ Break 1, and today we have another gig log. Well, today it's 2 parties in 1. So today I'm gonna do tacos and DJ, and it's in Covina, so it's maybe like 5 minutes away from my house. So this gig is for my aunt, but it's gonna be at my cousin's house. It's her birthday. So brought the small system, and got 4 meats today: birria, asada, chicken, el pastor, pork, and salsa baracha, and king taco salsa, green salsa that I made. And I'll show you when we get there. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll subscribe and do all that jazz. And thank you for coming through this journey with me. So I arrived at the party. It took me like 5 minutes. Last night I set up the taco cart, so what I set up to do. So all I have to do is set up the DJ system and start cooking. So let me show you where I'm going to be setting up at and everything. So got the flex all packed up, and let me show you where we're going to be cooking at. We're going to be cooking out right here, setting up. Look how nice this looks with all the tables. And I'm gonna be setting up right here under this canopy, right outside of the canopy. Right here. Gonna put some uplights right here, 360 uplights all around the wall. That's the view. I'm gonna put some uplights right here, some effects. And that's about it where I'm gonna be setting up at. So, thank you. So, I finished setting up behind the canopy. This is how it looks right here. So I just got the 2 subs, the basic ones, the 2 subs, 2 air arrays, 2 jelly domes, Odyssey cases for the controller and the stand, and that's about it. Much. I'm gonna put some the rollers maybe on the floor on the pole, and then these little lights right here on top, they light up, give a little effect right here. Little lights. So this is my point of view. Little dance floor right here. The dance floor. So right now the chicken is cooking. It's on the grill. So right now the carne asada is finished. Like a minute left. Got some juice in the pan, so it could be a little bit moist, not dried out. So right now on the grill we got some birria, tacos, birria, cheese, mozzarella cheese. We're inside the birria. Lighting up for the party to get started. It's about to get started right now. So this is what the setup looks like in the dark. I got the 2 American DJ rolling scanners on the bottom with the uplight in the middle. 2 jelly domes, air array speakers, subray, and I got uplights in the back of the wall.
house. There's some hoes in this 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 house. Un café con leche. Un café con leche. Un café con leche. Un café con leche.
Esa nena linda, con su cara bella y su lindo ojos, te voy a enamorar. Esa nena linda, con su cosita suave, besa, 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 será otra activa. Mueve la cintura cuando llega el baile, llama la atención, baila con los malandros y los leones, los hijos de papi y los juniors y los fresas, los niños se mueven. Esta chica se mueve suave, esta chica la veo con ritmo y la chica se mueve sexy y la chica se mueve rico, esta chica se mueve. Contaré la historia de una famosa persona. Todos la conocen con el apodo de Chona. Todos la conocen con el apodo de Chona. Su marido dice ya no sé qué hacer con ella. Diario va a los bailes y se compra una botella. Diario va a los bailes y se compra una botella. Se arranca la banda con la primera canción. Y la Chona luego busca bailador. Y la Chona luego busca bailador. La gente la mira y le empieza a gritar. Bravo, bravo, Chona, nadie te puede igualar. Bravo, bravo, Chona, nadie te puede igualar. Y la Chona se mueve y la gente le grita. No mejor que la Chona, para la que la grita. Y la Chona se mueve al ritmo que le toquen. Ella baila del
See the Benz on good. When I roll 20 deep, so it's drama in the club. Now that I roll with Dre, everybody show me love. When you sell like Eminem, you bring me a groupie love. Look, homie, ain't nothing
Take them all, and that night I played the wall. Checking out the colors, the highs and lows. People when I hold it still. I think I said it again. All night long. Let me see that
She said she'd never turn on me. Your lies at me. This is how we do it. That sexual testing like nobody does. This is how we do it. Woman and passion. This is how we do it. Take that chance. She's trying to take on the lead. But what I do is the way she dances. Shawty got right for me. The way she gets love. Like that. Work it out for me. She got fun. Back that ass up.
So there you guys have it, another gig in the books. But before I get into my final thoughts, I want to give a big shout out to my cousin Vienna for hooking me up with this gig. It was her mom, Bertha. It was her birthday party. So I'm really honored to do that, to do my aunt's birthday party. I really appreciate it. But let's get into the final thoughts of this gig. So let's begin. On Friday night, I had to go to her house and set up all the taco cart, and then after go back home and start chopping, making salsas, marinating the meats for the next day. So then after I woke up on Saturday, loaded the car with all the DJ system, and then went to her house, set up the DJ system, and start cooking tacos, all the meat, and then I had to serve about maybe 120 to 140 people. And then I jumped on the DJ system, started mixing, just like how you seen it in the video. And then after that, I finished about maybe like 2 o'clock, broke down the DJ system, put everything in the car, went home, got home by like maybe like 3 o'clock, knocked out. And then it was Sunday. I had to unload the DJ system, and then I went back to her house, broke down the taco cart, put everything in the car, went home, but it wasn't finished because I had to wash dishes. And then after that, put everything in the containers so nothing could get in, so it was nice and neat. Took it to the storage, and then after that, it was done. So it took me 3 days to do this gig. I busted my ass off, but it was worth it because all the family members that was there, Bertha, Vienna, everybody really appreciated it. They had a good time. So to me, it was worth it. But let me give you my pro tips. So if you're going to be a beginner DJ or a beginner taco man doing gigs like this, here's my pro tip. No matter what, if it's your family, you got to still do a professional job like if it was a client. Because you never know when there's a potential client at the gig to hire you to do their gigs and parties. So that is my pro tip. And let me tell you about the bumper music at the beginning. It's one of my favorite old school jams. As you know, I'm an old head, an old school kind of guy. So the song was called Rocksteady from the Whispers. Those are one of my favorite old school songs. So I hope you guys like that. And if you guys have any songs with the word break in it, in the lyrics or in the song, put it down in the comments and I'll let you know, and I'll tag you and I'll give you a big shout out. So also leaving comments, please leave in the comments down below how I'm doing. Any feedback, I really appreciate it. You guys getting me feedback, well, if I'm doing a good job or not, or what I need to improve on. So let me sign out. My name is DJ Break 1. I'm signing out. So please like, subscribe, and let's break on to the other side, and I'll catch you on the rebound.